Something just happened in January 2026 that is going to reshape the entire global financial system. And it didn't come from Washington. It didn't come from Wall Street. It didn't come from the Federal Reserve. It came from the BRICS alliance: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now Saudi Arabia and Egypt. They just flipped the switch on a brand new international currency settlement system. They're calling it the unit. And as of right now, it is live, operational, and already being used for cross-border trade settlements. Let me be completely clear about what this means. This is not a proposal. This is not a test. This is not coming soon. The unit is functioning right now as a real alternative payment system that allows these countries to conduct massive trade transactions without touching a single US dollar. For your entire lifetime, the US dollar has been the undisputed king of global commerce. Nearly everything bought, sold, or traded internationally was priced and settled in dollars. It wasn't just the dominant system. It was the only system that mattered. That just changed. BRICS didn't attack the old system. They didn't try to overthrow it. They built a completely separate one. Their own financial infrastructure, their own settlement rails, their own monetary backbone. And they just opened it for business to nearly half of the world's population. They haven't destroyed the dollar-based system, at least not yet, but for the first time in 80 years, a legitimate, operational alternative now exists, backed by the world's fastest-growing economies and largest populations. The era of the dollar having zero competition is officially over. The monopoly has been broken. So how does the unit actually function? And why isn't this just another symbolic currency announcement? Because the design itself is the strategy. The unit is built on two foundational pillars designed to solve the two biggest problems every country worries about: stability and sovereignty. Pillar 1. Gold backing. 40% of the unit's value is directly backed by physical gold held in secure vaults across BRICS nations. Not paper gold, not ETFs, not promises. Actual, auditable, physical metal. This is their credibility anchor. Gold has held value for over 5,000 years across empires, wars, and political systems. It's trusted globally, regardless of ideology. Pillar 2. Currency basket. The remaining 60% is backed by a weighted basket of BRICS national currencies: Chinese Yuan, Indian Rupee, Russian Ruble, Brazilian Real, South African Rand. This is the long-term bet. It says our combined manufacturing power, natural resources, population, and GDP over $28 trillion are strong enough to support a global settlement currency. So the unit is engineered as 40% stability through gold, 60% growth through emerging economic power. Safe enough to trust, dynamic enough to grow. This isn't just a new payment method. It's a direct structural challenge to the global monetary order that has existed since Bretton Woods 1944.
So why January 2026? The answer is February 2022. After Russia invaded Ukraine, Western governments froze over $300 billion of Russia's foreign reserves, money held in Western banks. Decades of national savings locked with a pen stroke. Every major country was watching, and they all understood the message instantly. If your reserves are held inside their system, they control your wealth. If it could happen to Russia, a nuclear-armed G20 economy, it could happen to anyone. Saudi Arabia watched, China watched, India watched, Turkey watched, Indonesia watched, and they all reached the same conclusion: we're exposed. Finding a plan B went from theory to national security priority. The unit is that plan B, now operational, not to start a financial war, but to build a financial shield. Does this work in the real world? Yes, and we already have proof. As of January 2026, around 90% of trade between Russia and China is conducted without US dollars. Oil, gas, machinery, electronics, agriculture, settled directly in local currencies. This is the real-world beta test. The unit is the highway, but Russia and China have already been driving the backroads successfully for 4 years. Dollar-free trade at scale isn't theoretical anymore. It's happening. This isn't a fringe experiment. BRICS now represents over 46% of the world's population, over 3.6 billion people, massive control over oil, gas, food, and rare earths. The unit launches with instant demand: oil from Russia to India, electronics from China to Brazil, manufacturing from India to Egypt, all settled without dollars. That scale gives this system gravity.
And this directly impacts gold. Every unit requires gold backing. More usage equals more gold demand. BRICS are already the world's biggest gold buyers. This is why major institutions are projecting gold prices of $5,000, even $8,000 per ounce if adoption accelerates. It's simple math. Massive institutional demand, limited supply. This doesn't mean the dollar collapses tomorrow. It means erosion. The U.S. has benefited from what economists call exorbitant privilege: cheap borrowing, endless deficits, financial leverage. The unit puts that privilege on a timer. Every transaction that moves away from the dollar weakens demand, slowly, persistently. No explosion, just erosion. Countries like Indonesia, Nigeria, Turkey, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Vietnam, they carry massive dollar-denominated debt. For them, the unit means options, leverage, diversification, sovereignty. This is how monetary shifts become geopolitical realignments. BRICS has internal tensions: China versus India, political differences, economic imbalances. Maintaining unity is hard, but shared fear is powerful, and the fear of financial weaponization may be strong enough to hold this together, at least for now. This is not the death of the dollar, it's the end of monopoly. For the first time in 80 years, countries have a choice. And once choice exists, everything changes. The rules of global finance are being rewritten in real time. Ignoring it is no longer an option.